the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I am Alex Dingman.
I am Jeff Doss. Happy 6th anniversary. This is crazy. 6 years of doing this show. And man, it's fun every single week. And thank you for doing this with me, my friend. Before we get going, I mean, dude, who knew, right? Who knew us starting 6 years ago, and us two, like, you know what, like, honestly, we had maybe a few conversations throughout our time. We you know, like one time I think we did a show where both of us were on Point Fighter years ago.
Yeah.
And we talked a few times here and there. You know, of course, we were on Hayabusa together for like a cup of coffee. And but like after that, we didn't have that many. And now it's like, dude, you're like one of my best friends, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like,
who would I really 100% right. And I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, let's give this thing a shot. Sounds good to me. And originally, this is all credit to Travis, right? So Travis had asked me, he goes, hey, do you want to do a show too? Because CTE had just started to become a thing, right?
Yep.
And then I'm like, dude, yeah. And he goes, all right, it'd be really cool if you did the show. And he brought up somebody else. And I'm like, cool, sounds great. And I like this other person, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. And then like a week later, he goes, I actually got a better idea. And then he brought you up. And I'm like, that is a better idea. That's a much better idea, right? And dude, you're right. Who would have freaking thought? Like we text each other too much sometimes.
Oh yeah.
I was texting you in the middle of church yesterday.
That's funny.
I probably should be more focused, but all right, this is on my mind.
Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So as yeah, man, I mean, there's so many stories and stuff from our show. I mean, even just the back and forth of us figuring out, hey, what are we doing this week? Hey, sometimes we plan stuff well in advance. Sometimes we do not. Sometimes we are, you know, hoping someone shows up. Sometimes, you know, we never know, right? Even tonight, who knows? But,
we don't know.
But like, it's really cool with, well, in a couple of weeks too, we're trying to figure out how to do a show, you know, when maybe we're going to be, you know, you may be somewhere, I'm going to be somewhere different. So it's
the
really
option of let's just skip it. That's not an option.
We don't ever want that. We've had to do that before.
We never want that. We will exhaust every other resource.
Exactly. And you know, I was talking to my my black belt class before this, and you know, our life skill for the month is perseverance. And I talked about, you know, a lot of times you think of perseverance in different ways of just digging deep and hardcore hard work. And it's like sometimes perseverance looks different. When you've done something like this, when both of us have all day, like, again, I usually don't get home now until 11 o'clock. I've been here all day since 9, right? You know, you've been working all day. You have kids taking care. You're doing this. This is a different version of perseverance, you know, than what people think. And it's a great example of that, you know? So it's pretty cool.
I'm gonna give credit to Lindsay. She perseveres because right now she's got 3 kids that she's trying to get to bed, and because tonight was nutty, because it was, you know, school supply drop off night for us, right?
Okay.
So because you know, when you put them in private school, you got to supply all the stuff. It's not just like, oh, you got to pay. Like, you also have to give us all this gear. And I'm like, well, wait a minute now. What am I? Isn't that what the tuition is? Like, what? So you got to pay, and then like it doesn't end, right? So we got to go do that, but then there's only a short amount of window, so it's like, all right, well, we have to go do it after karate. So we got 2 classes tonight. Then we got to go straight to the school, do that drop off, and then grandma's got something for them, as a gift before their first day of school, which is going to be Wednesday, which is still nuts. Let's just be honest.
Wednesday.
Listen, I know every school's doing it. I know everyone's on board. Middle of August, 3rd week of August. That's kind of like the time. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's dumb. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grumpy old man saying that is whatever. You know what's funny though? Here's what's funny is when you got people like customers or students or just people you're working with that you find that are like the grumpy that they've ended up in like the grumpy phase, but they're like years younger than you.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, did I just accidentally turn a corner? Like, hang on. What are you in the grumpy old man phase for? Exactly. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. Well, even before the show, Travis and I are talking about, well, I want to just highlight, we lost a martial arts competitor, a legend, especially in the Northeast area in Canada. Danny Griffith passed away. We hear, especially in our group, Brett Shumway talks about Danny all the time. It's like his favorite fighter.
I didn't know that. That's why Travis was talking about him. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he had passed away. And I was telling him about that. And we were talking about, like the guys of how old they were. And we remember competing or looking up to them. And what's funny now, we're like sitting there and like, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm older than, we were talking about like his uncle, like in 99 or even 2000, when I was looking up to him as like, someone, the leader of the sport at that time, or a coach of this. I'm older than he was then. Now it's just the weirdest thing, right? It's just wild. So, one of the other things, all right, so it's our 6th anniversary show. The other thing that's happening right now is I found this out. I was watching the UFC show, or the UFC fight, okay? And kudos to MVP. He had an awesome.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
And it was so much fun watching him and just, cheering him on at B-Dubs, watching that, being like, yes, just the way he was so evasive. If you guys watched any of the fights, comment below. Of course, the undercard was the best. I mean, of the main card, sorry. The other fights were amazing. And it's so funny when some people always think, oh, I'm excited for just this one fight. There's no other good fights. Like, no, all the other fights were amazing. The other one you kind of knew. I'm not saying I don't like it's boring to me, because I appreciate someone dominating someone like that, like with their one skill. Yeah. It's kind of impressive, but it does make it kind of, oh man, all right, come on, you want to see some back and forth. But watching MVP do what he does, man, and then dig deep and continue. He had one big mistake which could have, messed him up, in that 3rd round.
That's been his downfall in the past, where he's looking like he's completely in control. One slip and he's just out. Who was it that hit him with that uppercut? Who was that?
Dang,
it was in Bellator.
Yeah, it was in Bellator. It was.
I think he hit him with he got hit with a leg kick or something like that.
Yeah. I can't think of it right now.
It was like one shot. I can't think of it. You can picture it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing is like that didn't bother me at all. I had to rewatch it. But yeah, I'm always excited to watch MVP fight.
And then there was 2 back-to-back spinning elbows, which was crazy, right? Like just awesome stuff. So lots of good things.
Check this
out. All right, but while that was happening, hold on. Go ahead. I hadn't got the story.
My bad.
All right, so while that's happening, I'm looking up on my phone and then it says 35th anniversary Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in theaters. Only August 17th to August 20th. And so I'm like, oh crap, let me see if they're doing it in Lynchburg. And so right then I looked up at 1:00, Sunday they did. I text Shelly and she's like, yes, let's go. So then we get all the kids to go. All of us go and watch it Sunday. I mean,
the first one.
Yeah, the very first one. And I think I went to the theaters to watch it when I was a kid. And,
I did.
And it was crazy because I don't think I've sat through and watched that whole thing from the beginning to end. I've seen it thousands of times, but there would be times where it would just be playing, And,
sure.
and
if it's on TV, you're like, of course.
I want to watch this scene, or I'm just as a kid, you want to watch this fight scene, or you just want to watch this one scene of the movie, or something like that, right?
Right.
And so it was fun, man. And I had to catch myself to not like say all the words or sing all the songs, but some of the things, as soon as it kicked in, I was like, it kicked me back to like I remember all the lines. I
just remember going home after you saw the movie, doing everything you saw. Yeah, dude, that's cool.
And even just funny things of like, like the bad kids, that were in the, that were hanging out, that weren't part of the Foot Clan, but they were the wild gangster kids.
Yeah.
Dude, look at this little dweeb with a cigarette in his mouth, or this little guy with it. It's like, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, they're really bad. Now you're just like, all right, he looks ridiculous. It's just,
you just called him a dweeb.
Yeah,
basically you just like you're still stuck in 1989 because you just used the term.
Dweeb. You're right. There's so many great things about that movie.
100%.
Oh man,
let's talk about that. All right, I know that's more of a fist kicks and flicks thing, but hey, we're talking about it. The three, let's just say the original 3 Ninja Turtles movies. Which one was the best?
Looking like really like number 1 is the best. The one I still probably watched the most was probably the second one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say the same.
But the thing is, the actual best of the writing and the way it is and the jokes and everything was the first one because it had enough grit and edge to it. The second one, and it was more like the
Casey Jones. They had that guy in there.
Yeah, Casey Jones.
That's what made it, because it was the first one was darker. It was like a dark, and
dude,
that works.
I know it seems silly now, but I just remember like the first 5 minutes they said "damn" like 6 times. Like, whoa, what was? And I mean, I know it seems kind of silly, right? But it's like, what they wouldn't pull that in the second one or the third one, like wait a minute, like I think the first actual word that was said of the whole movie was "damn."
Yeah, dude, my mom's in the chat. Mom, we went to go see it in theaters together. We went. I remember where we were, Brooklyn Center.
Well, again, hey, I'm just saying they're doing it until Wednesday. If you guys, I just suggest go and do it. I know Chris. I text Chris. I text everyone in the group, and Chris went ahead and did the same thing. Got his ticket that night too while watching, and he went the same time yesterday that I did. He said he had popcorn and he bought a pepperoni pizza while he watched it. And then, and then
for
Joe,
number 1, it's the Ninja Turtles, so you have to have pizza.
You have to have pizza. And
number 2,
Joe Hartley, he's going tomorrow night.
Enjoy yourself.
Joe's going tomorrow night to watch it with his family. Or I don't know if he's going with his family. He may be going by himself. I don't know. But I tell everyone, man, it's worth it. So that was fun. The other thing about that I was explaining to like my kids, because they watched it growing up because it was one of Shelly's favorite movies watching up. So that she had, she raised them right here. You're watching this movie. Okay. Right. But, for me, it was cool because we saw all of them for about 2 years at every tournament. They were set up at the Battle of Atlanta, at Diamonds, at Bluegrass, and you saw them on stage winning and competing, and then they show up in the suits and getting autographs at the tournaments,
Well, that's the part that made it the coolest. Like we talked about in the past, where it was like, we talked about the WMAC angle where it was a little bit better because there was no costume and it was their exact names. Like, there he is right there. All right.
Yeah.
And so, which was really cool. But this was a little bit different. This is the silver screen. All right. Yeah. And it was the silver screen doing martial arts in it wasn't like, you had like a side role in Pearly Sue. Like, no, this was
a martial arts movie.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man. Right. You got the suit, like everything. It made us and our sport like a lot cooler too. It gave a lot more validity to martial arts.
Yeah.
And to the specific like avenue of competition that we do. Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was really cool.
That was the early 90s when all
that
came out.
crazy?
I think it was 90.
So, it was 90, and then right, this is what's nuts. The movie came out. 3 days later, they and greenlit that there was going to be a second movie. So the movie was so big that weekend that they said, all right, we're doing a second one. A year later, the second movie comes out. That never happens. That's unheard of, right? Like, what the heck? And they're all huge. They're all huge. So
that's pretty cool. I didn't know that part, but I did know that they were like back to back. I just kind of assumed that they already knew that they were going to do two.
All right. So again, I'm on Facebook or I'm on Instagram. I click the button to see, the ad about this. And then guess what? Now on my feed, I'm getting podcast clips of Ninja Turtles and martial arts movies and stuff. And so that's where I learned that. It's just, you got to love the algorithms. You got to love the algorithms, right? Oh, man. So, all right. Let's get into, so we talked about, Ninja Turtles. I talked about, again, it's our 6th anniversary show, guys. If you guys have something that you have loved over this past 6 years, let us know. There was a lot of, there were a lot of big events this weekend as far as just, like we're getting prepared for, the end of August. We got some tournaments coming up. I have a tournament this weekend that I've talked about, Mountain View Open in Hickory. It's going to be a lot of fun. AmeriKick is coming up. There were people in Texas this weekend for the GOAT Awards. There was the South Atlanta Open. There was, I think there were some tournaments up north. I'm trying to remember all the ones, guys, but let me know if what events you went to over the weekend, and shout out some people or some performances that you saw, because you know what? That's what we do here. We give people shout outs.
100%. Yeah. Where were you guys this weekend? What did you see? What was give us the inside scoop.
That's right. Give us the inside scoop. All right. All right. You talked about the week before you went to a martial arts tournament, right, Alex?
Word.
Yeah. And so share with us what you are working on in your classes with your kids right now.
Okay. So if I say it, it's not going to change things, right? But people are going to 100% just disagree with me. So Jeff,
yeah,
you started as a similar type of martial artist that I started as when we were students in a classroom. Mm-hmm. You fight with your right side forward. So do I, right? We're similar types of martial artists. Your technical ability laps mine on its best day, on your worst day. Anyway, point is, my kids and pretty much everybody in the class pretty much does everything both sides. They don't have like a side. However, they fight with their left side in front, right?
Yeah.
And the first like couple times that Louisa was sparring, she was like, Dad, I think I kick better with my right leg. I'm like, just stop talking about that. Just stop. Because she kind of did, but they were really the same, right?
Yeah.
And so now she's like, this is so much better. This is so much easier. And the thought process, the mentality, all right, is that it'll be easier for her because for her, everyone is the same, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's going to fight the same. So she sees similarly the same type of thing every time. But every single time they fight her or Zachary, all right, it's challenging for them, all right? So they immediately just have an advantage, like without doing anything, all right?
Right.
Now, Louisa a little bit more because I didn't tell her to do this, right? But she fought at that tournament And we just played this game at the end of class, right? Like the distance between where we bow out from and the door to leave, it's a significant distance. It's like basically like 2 rings length. And I go, all right, pick up your foot and slide kick all the way to the door before you bow out. Right.
Yeah.
Something fun and funny to do. So she's been doing that for 3.5 years.
Wow.
So, and then we do things like slide kick around the room, just normal things. No, I'm not doing anything different that nobody else has ever done. So what she decided she wants to do is she's just like, Dad, I'm just going to pick up my foot the entire time. And I'm like, the entire time? Like, I've done that before.
Yeah.
It gets tiring after a while. She's like, no, I won't get tired. I'm like, oh, you're going to have to, forge your own path. All right. Are you sure you want to do this? I'm got it, Dad. All right.
Right.
So then Joe Boone is her center. She's kid smart. So she's like, he makes a joke and he goes, looks like Louisa can't punch, right? And I'm like, she heard him.
Oh.
And then she just is like, she doesn't pick her foot up the next time. The girl picks her foot up, puts it down, boom. She just takes off and blitzes her to the ground. Right. And I'm like, damn. Right. So just basically that's what I'm doing with them, and this for them, for what my kids are doing specifically, like they're just, it's so weird for me because I've always had 20, 30, 40 students that I'm going to a tournament with, not 2. Right. I will say, even for a local tournament, man, there's just something about Wisconsin martial artists. Like you can't just show up and just be kind of okay in form. Like they're elite immediately. Right. They're very good. Right. So even at like an intermediate level, like they're doing very, very good forms. So like if you're going to be really good, like you really got to be good. It was so funny because when I first moved here, I linked up with Dwan Brown. Shout out to Dwan Brown because I said that he was there too, right? Guy's fantastic. Love this guy. And I was talking about going to this tournament in Wisconsin. He goes, oh, what, you want to work on your forms again? And I'm like, well, not particularly, but why? And he goes, I mean, the fighting level is not going to be like what it is in Chicago, which he was right. He goes, but forms is really good. So I go there and like, he was for real, right? Like that's when I saw, Connor Chastain as like a 12-year-old.
Correct.
Like he wasn't even on Infinity then. He was just Karate America, right? And but they're just the Connor Chastains. There's dozens of them. There's dozens of them that nobody freaking knows about. All right. You know how many kids like that are in Mike Welch's school that like nobody knows about? There's so many, right? And he does a very, very good job of just not just teaching martial arts, but creating a culture. And let's not get started on Eric Barnard's Elite Taekwondo Academy School, right?
Yeah.
One club, right? And he's not even completely full-time with this. And they're all really, really good. Like he does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So
he does.
Yeah, hand claps to them. I still will say, coolest thing that happened in that whole tournament.
That thing
was that kicking machine. That power gauge. That thing. I'm still talking to guys about that thing.
I forgot about checking that out and looking it up.
He said he dropped coin on it. And he said it was significant what he said.
Yeah.
And he said he saw Joe Rogan talking about it and he goes, I'm just gonna go get it. I would do it. Right. If I had a prize pool, 1,000%, I would get it tomorrow. Right. I wouldn't even think about it. I'm like, I'm not even gonna put the dollar amount in my head. I'm just gonna forget about it. Put it here. Somehow it'll make me money back. If not, it's gonna be really cool. All right.
That's right. So for me right now, I mean, I teach a lot of different classes, of course, but this week we've been working, basic boxing combos. We call, our jab cross, hook cross, but doing that followed by a different type of kick. So we have our roundhouse kick, we got our front kick, we got our side kick, and then we kind of give them all right, now whatever kick you want to follow up with that with, kind of give people, especially the range of levels that they're doing. You know what I mean? I have a lot of different levels of people in one class, so that way they can kind of work what they want to with that, right?
Like, what age group are you talking about?
Literally, I'm talking about everybody, but yeah. Like
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, my classes are a lot different. My classes are like 6 and up, but a lot of families and stuff together. So
All right.
So we kind of get everybody, going together. We do that, then we work doing it on the Wave Masters, and then doing our push and pull of defending. So someone is putting you up against the Wave Master, which is almost like someone putting you up against the wall, and you changing the direction and then taking them and putting them against the wall. So that's been one of the things that we're doing for defense wise for that. Of course, ab workouts, a lot of
can I ask you that question? As long as you mention that.
Yeah.
How much conditioning do you really do in your classes?
So, I mean, we, of course, the first 5 minutes is a warm up, but like it was a lot of different things. You know what I mean? Like today was, some days we'll just do sprints for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so they're really getting, a good workout. Today was like 30 of everything, 2 laps. You know what I mean? So 2 or 3 laps. So I just get a good, a good warm up. Then I do like a quick stretch. I still make sure everybody does a stretch together for at least for our basic classes, because I think it's important. But I do change it up to where it's not all static. It's definitely more dynamic. And then we go into, the basics that we're going to do. And then we put them onto something. Either we'll do them on pads, or we'll do it on the Waymasters, or we'll do it with each other as a self-defense type thing, and then.
But I mean, like the actual conditioning, like how many times are you having them crank out like 30 push-ups, 20, or even 10? I'm just curious.
Yeah. So we do, like, fitness test is part of our, our belt testing system. So, we have you have 1 minute of push-ups. You got to do as many as you can. 1 minute of sit-ups, 1 minute of squats, 1 minute of front kicks, 1 minute of some type of hand combination, right? So you're doing that. So we do each of those probably each week to get them ready for it. And then as we're leading to belt testing, we'll do the that 5 minute one at least once or twice, 2 to 3 weeks, to that, so they're getting a lot of conditioning on that part. So seeing how many push-ups they're doing, seeing how many sit-ups, but I don't say, all right, dude. Sometimes it's warm up. Like I stopped doing the whole give me 10 or give me this or that. A lot of times, like today was a little bit different because it was more of it wasn't something that was super hard. But like, all right, you have a minute, do as many push-ups as you can. Here's your goal. Whatever your record was last time, I need you to beat that. I need you to continue beating that. And that way it's not just like, give me 20 or give me, because some people aren't at that level to do 20. Some, that's not enough for them, but they can push themselves to do more, right? So they can always go more. So it's like sit-ups. They can do, squats, whatever. Everything is on time.
So I remember as a kid, so having, and anyone who's ever taken a class from me knows that this is the case. Like I don't do a ton of conditioning, right? And I always kind of struggle with this. And I openly acknowledge I should do more than I do, right? But the reason why I struggle with it is I remember by the time I hit like red belt, right? I would say 4/5 of the classes that I did were just conditioning, right? Now, I was pretty conditioned, right? I would 100% own that when I was a black belt, I think when I was 14, I could have gotten I could get punched, like kicked, like just straight up, like go ahead, go for it, and I was golden, good, right? However, all those classes, I remember like the biggest hiccup I had to be able to make black belt, right? It was a very, very hard thing for me to do at the time because all of my technique, I had such good talent upside, but my technique had so many flaws. And I'm like, hey, maybe some of all these conditioning classes could have focused on how I shifted into front stances a little bit better. You see what I'm saying? And so I I always look at that and like, I'm not going to have my students lack on skill when I can help it. Right. You want to go do push-ups, get your butt out there and go do a ton of push-ups. Right. It's hard, man. Good to see you, Will. Yeah. Hope you come back soon, man, brother. So I openly acknowledge that, like, that's hard to do. I know.
Yeah.
But that's something I struggle with a lot.
So I focus a lot on technique, right? And I break things down a lot. But which these next few weeks, all I'm doing, like, I just went back in our sparring classes and we're just breaking down step by step the blitz, the way I want it done properly. And the way of, all right, we're gonna go with first just leading with your front hand as you're doing your what we call like high block punch or your body punch blitz, right? And I did laps of just that front hand has to lead you, right? Doing that first. Then you add the punch in there. Then you add, okay, now what's your next step after that? Where's the follow? All right, now what's the next step after that? And getting the hand-foot timing correct. And, okay, where should your body be at? Where should you be pivoting? All this. So that way they're getting all the steps. And then start doing it on each other, and then start back and forth. And then it's like,
I think, Jeff, I'm going to interrupt you because I want to compliment you. I'm interrupting you to compliment you. I know it sounds strange because I think people think that you just have really good forms competitors and that you don't produce a lot of good. You had a guy that was fighting me. Remember that when we were at Infinity National? I know who he was beating me at one point, wasn't he?
Right.
Who was that?
Yeah, that's my student, Jacob Watson. Yeah. He's
pretty
beating
good. I remember feeling like,
he's beating some high-level people. Yeah.
Where's this coming from? All right.
Right.
Yeah. So he was pretty good. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I cut you off to comment.
No. I know. I mean, well, for me, it's like I've coached a lot of good people. I've created some, but also like it's very important for me to help people with that technique part because I see so many things in sparring that could just be better because of the way they train, right? You know what I mean? Like if we just fix a couple little things, right? And it's little things like that. Now, some of it, of course, is strategy and how you do and this and that. But I mean, I even have coached people or told people that, hey, give me a high-low, and they don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Like, I don't know how to do that. Like, what? So, or I'll ask some of the kids, like, I've seen a lot of the girls in ASCA right now. It's like, I'm like, when you kick, you just kick at the same spot? Yeah. Well, why? Like, how about give me a high-low or give me a low-high or give me a double-high, and it's just like, it's crazy how.
I'm going to jump in on that one.
Yeah,
so like for that, right? For a lot of like, I don't have teenagers that I'm teaching right now, right? They're literally 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds. Okay.
Correct.
So as I'm teaching, right, I'm having them just hit mitts, like literally mitts. Right. And I'm like, just think about it. If we're punching, we're going to punch small targets. Why are we kicking large targets? We need our feet to be able to do the same kind of things that our hands do. Correct. Why are we, this doesn't make sense. So we're doing that. And so in the class today also, right, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, they're doing spinning hook kicks and jump turn side kicks. No problem. All right. Jump spinning back kicks. All right. Whatever you want to call it. So, and it's not a problem. All right. Because I didn't tell them it was a problem. All right. And actually, that, like, if you think about if you're doing like a jump spinning back kick, it is actually not that hard. They're not doing a lot of work. They're not spinning the whole way around.
Exactly.
The kick itself is actually pretty easy. Your feet have to be off the ground, but you don't have to jump super high. All you got to do is just be a few inches off the ground. The kick's perfect. All right.
Yep.
So now they're able to do a kick that it is high level.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It is high level, but it's not high. It's not really complicated. The tornado kick is more complicated.
And not really. If you break down a tornado kick properly, it's just a turn around shuffle front kick. That's all it is.
Correct.
That's all
but
it
you,
is.
you have to do more work on that kick.
No, you're right. You're right. Well, here's the deal. I did the same thing today. You're so funny. It's funny that you're saying it. So I said, you know what? I didn't do jump though, but I did a turning back kick. And I have a class full of white belts. And I said, you know what? there's no reason why I should be teaching you this today, but I'm going to because it's going to be fun and it's going to make things easier for you. All right. And in the long term. And so I just say, you know what? Why not? Because, after a while, you got to make it a little bit fun. So I'm like, all right, we're doing side kicks first on the pad. So, all right, here's the deal. All we're going to do is spin back kick, which really is just, I want you to turn around and now do a side kick again. And I just kind of kept turning them, side kick, turn them around, side kick. And that's it. It's just like, oh, wow, okay, this isn't as hard as I think it is. I think a lot of times we can break things down. Like if we break things down to the simplest thing, it's so much easier. Like don't make it such a huge deal for them and everything's going to get so much better. Like they see how it should look at the end. It's like, okay, even a tornado, you can make it as simple as you can. Let's make it as easy as possible first. Then we keep leveling up and leveling up and leveling up. Now, there are some that still sometimes are doing it the way that I taught them when they were like a yellow belt. I'm like, okay, hey, it's about time now you start jumping, buddy. Okay, give me some jump.
So much of this is just guts to be able to do this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I had this student one time. This kid's name was Jordan. I will just straight his first and last name, Jordan Niemer. Jordan Niemer. This is probably 20 years ago. It was 20 years ago, right? So Jordan Niemer, he was nothing excited this kid more than karate did. Nothing, right? I mean, it was everything he did in life revolved around this. All I want to do is this. I'm good. But he wasn't technically good, really, at any of it, right? But sparring, fighting became easier for him because he wasn't ever afraid of getting hit, all right, or doing anything that was wrong, all right? He just did it. So it's like, all right, well, you're going to have a fair amount of success because nothing frightens you, right? There's nobody out there that frightens you, but he would always, anytime I'm like, hey, man, I need someone to demonstrate for me. And Jordan would pop up, and Jordan never had great technique, right?
Right.
So Jordan would try spinning hook kicks like all the freaking time. And they were so bad. Like so bad. And I would have to plead with him. I'm like, Jordan, you really got to stop doing this, man. This is not working. All right. And they were so, I mean, he would just literally, people would just watch it and they would go, what is the heck are you doing? Yeah. And they would just like step back and then like he'd be done and be like, are we watching the same fight? What is going on? Right. Yeah. And then they just hit him. Right. And we're like, this is so strange. Well, you do it enough times, you're going to freaking get better at it. So by that time he was a first degree black belt. He could do two things amazing. He could do a rear hand body punch blitz, like really good, because he could get so low and he could spin hook kick anybody, right?
Yeah.
Because he had done it 14 times a match for his whole life, right? So now the kid can do two things that are just awesome, right? Now, once he starts picking up his front foot to start sliding and kicking, oh, then you're going to beat him, right? But if the kid just threw shoulder fakes and threw a rear hand body punch blitz and then just spin hook kicked you, you were going to get your butt whooped, right? And that's where, because he had such an awkward bounce and cadence. He just did not have a cadence, right?
Right.
And you would look at him and go, he's a cheeseburger. I got him, right?
Right.
No problem. He's just, he'd be in a national tournament. He'd be like the Diamonds. He's wearing like a student uniform, and you see the big NK in the back, and you go, oh, it's an opportunity for a spread right here, right?
Right.
And accurately so. At least they should have like a somewhat of a competition uniform, a rec suit, or a top 10 uniform. Right. You just coming in there with your bold look uniform, like, ooh, target on your back, all right? And he had a bounce like that, and you're like, this is gonna end quick. But it didn't, because he was so off, and nothing frightened him. And he would throw spin hook kicks that would just smack people in the face that had no business being there.
Right. Oh man, I remember one time. So we were at Super Grands, and this was the year we were in Myrtle Beach, and the tournament was on 4 different floors. And I'm about to do Korean on the top floor and continuous fighting on the first floor. And I had my uniform ready for that and switching back and forth. And I'm just like, I don't have time to switch. I'm going to have my Korean uniform on and fight in this heavyweight, like white uniform and look like, a cheeseburger. Be like, oh man. But, like I'm fighting. Yeah. And again, any little bit helps at this point because I'm fighting high level, like J-Dog, you know, Jason Holmes and Luis Jimenez, who are just born for this, you know, continuous fighting, man. And it was always fun fights with those guys. But yeah, it was just like, man, I'm sitting here in this this heavyweight white uniform. What am I doing? But yeah,
there's been some guys that have done that have, like, you know, you wear the heavyweight white uniforms. I'm talking like in the 90s, like the late 90s and in 2000s. So you're like, this guy's gonna get smoked, and it's just been great. I think John Sue did that a few times because he would come like from his Japanese division,
right? Exactly.
That looks even worse, actually. You come in with the short pants on, and
well, I mean,
you
even now, Marty Eubanks still does. He always wore a regular uniform, a forms uniform, you know, a pullover,
right,
a tie over uniform, and just whoop everybody. You know, like I loved it. The best. All right, so there was a great tournament out in Oregon and sometimes Vancouver, Washington, called Pacific Jewel, right? And every year there's this big team. I don't remember, but they're a huge kung fu team, and all of these guys have are really good fighters. And that's what's funny is they'll come in with these, I mean, like old school like kung fu uniforms, like the ones that you used to get out like the back of the Black Belt magazine, you know what I mean? Like the one that like you see, like the black one with the, you know, with the lines and stuff. And they would go out there and just be dropping people, blitzing people, hitting everyone. You're like, wait, what is going on? Yeah, it was always funny because like, dude, you got beat up by these guys in like a regular basic kung fu uniform.
That would be, I'm gonna be straight, that would be embarrassing.
Yeah. So now I've had to do before where I was about to do continuous and I had to go in my fighting uniform and do my form, you know, like, but I don't know. I think it's a little bit worse.
And that looks cooler.
It looks cool, but like for me, I'm still old school when it comes to my, like, I like wearing like a heavyweight or a heavyweight uniform when I do my open form because it pops. That was the way we did in the 90s and 2000s, you know? We wore a heavyweight uniform.
Middleweight.
Well, yeah, but the middleweight uniforms now, like even the super middleweights aren't that, they're like nothing, you know? They're like super light compared to what?
Because they use the brush cotton.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
So like, yeah, okay, it feels nice, but now it's just heavy for no reason.
Right. I mean, when I was a kid, we would get the big heavyweight Century uniform or whatever, you know, one, and then get it starched. And I don't mean just one time. It would be 4 or 5 times, you know. Yeah. And then you would sit it, and it would just be standing up, ready for you to step into it and compete.
Okay, here's a question. When you competed in forms around this time, what pants did you wear?
A lot of times, all right, so when I first started, 94, 95, 96, I had the Century with the back pocket in it. That was the one I had for a long time. Yeah. And actually you know what else when I was younger? I had the one that had like the strap, like, you know, remember the one that had like the cross string that was on the crotch area. Yeah, that was the way a lot of them had, like, in it.
Like you were a 1970s hockey player?
Yeah, and it was almost like I was wearing like bell bottoms or something, like those types of pants. Yeah, those were a big thing, and mine were like really gray, which was cool, I thought. And then, but I also had the red, white, and blue, you know, Stars and Stripes one as well, which was so heavy. So I had those, but then, all right, later on, I got like the Pro Force pants was what a lot of times I wore, was the Pro Force from Asian World. And that's what we had gotten for our forms uniforms for a while. And then when I was on Elite, we got all of our uniforms for Bull Look. Eventually.
So from that point on, what's that started to look like? Like your pants? Because I know exactly the best things to wear. You don't do it. And it is so surprising to me that you do not.
What?
Taekwondo pants, man.
Yeah, but like what do you mean Taekwondo? Which kind? Which style?
Like Adidas.
Oh, yeah. Those were good. Those were good. I do have a pair of Adidas.
But I didn't wear Adidas because the emblem was smack dab right there in the middle of the leg. So I would do like best. What would I get? Like best. Is that what the brand was? Was like Best Taekwondo or something like that?
Yeah,
but
like
it was white. It was like a white logo. You could tell it if you got up close. But the Adidas is smack dab in the middle of the quad. Like there's no ignoring.
The problem is now all those are so lightweight now, right? So they don't pop at all. They don't make a pop, but they're super easy to kick in. So like when I wear my WT uniform or my ITF uniform when I compete at those tournaments, it's so easy to kick. I mean, it's the best because that's the problem right now I have even with, like a regular uniform that I wear. They're so baggy in the crotch area that it kind of limits me sometimes on the kicking.
John Politi saying Chuck Norris pants.
Yeah. But
John, did you ever have Chuck Norris kicking jeans? Or did he have his own like kind of pant?
Yeah, he did as well. Yeah.
All right. No, but I really think doing that. I don't know why guys who do like CMX don't do it.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we grew up. I always wanted those. I had those that I trained with, and I trained in them, but I didn't wear them because we weren't sponsored by that, and then it didn't work with what we had. But yeah, I mean,
and you weren't gonna cheat, do that. I did that all the time. I tell you, I did this one time. I hated the type of gear like top 10 foot pads, ASG foot pads, like that style of. I used to hate that so much because I loved like actual foam dip foot pads, like Warrior foot pads, like a true kicker.
I love the foot pads, all the Century stuff. I love the Shihan stuff. I mean, all of that.
The Shihan hand pads were no joke. That was the best hand pads, right?
Yeah.
So what I did is I did it one time and then I could never do it again. I'm like, I let my Hayabusa foot pads, I let them rip. I didn't say I needed new foot pads. I just let them rip into where they're just toast. And I'm like, oh, they're toast. So don't anybody do, or maybe you go ahead and do this. I don't know. So I printed out some Hayabusa stickers, right? And I put the stickers over my Macho Warrior foot pads, right? So I wore Warrior foot pads and I put them over and like legit, like it was like an Irish Open I went to. It pissed Sam off, all right?
Yeah.
But because he's like, how are you out here and you're not wearing the gear? I'm like, look, right there. It says it right there. See?
Oh, man.
Oh, he was not happy.
Yeah.
But then he also got to say I was from Canada because he registered me and I'm like, I'm definitely not from Canada, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It was today you're from Canada. You're wearing those, you're from Canada.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I'm still that person that goes out and wears like one of each different brand. Like I'll have like an ASG right hand glove, a Century left hand. I got like a silver, top 10 boot, and then I'll have like a Warrior boot, and then I'll have like
disgusting
a crazy helmet. Like and it's the same thing. I love mismatched like uniforms too. For me, one of the coolest things I always that was, bow look.
You go out there, you look like you never actually competed before.
Yeah, bow look black pants. Bow look black pants with bow look white V-neck top. The white and black was always one of my favorites. And then, but for my school, what we do is blue top, black pants. We don't do a full, and so like, I love that because it just looks different, right? It's just cool to me. Like, and of course, we had a white top 10 with our logo on it, and then we had a black top 10. And what would I do every time that I fought? I would mismatch. I would do the white pants and black top, or black pants, white top. Yeah, it just is what it is.
Yeah, that's right. Because that Jacob kid, he was wearing the black one when we fought.
Yeah, he had with all black top 10. Yeah,
I still think about that one. That kid was good. He didn't.
Yeah,
he wasn't intimidated. Nothing.
No. He was not. I mean, right before maybe that same year is where we were at Canel's and he beat Julio Lugo, and then he lost to Jason by 1 point. So I was like, he was that close to going to the Tonight Show for that. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Jason Borelli is funny. He's said this plenty of times. He's like, I've gotten guys jobs because I didn't take fights seriously. So that like they beat me and then like boom, they went and got a job and they got picked up by another team. He openly said that, but he's also a guy where he's just so streaky. That's why I say he's like the Brett Favre of karate, right?
Yep.
He'll go out there.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the same thing with I always thought the same thing about like Regina during that same time too. Like from like 2001 to 2006, 7. If someone did really well, especially like an NBL tournament or the West Coast tournament against her, they would have a job. They would be picked up.
That's a good point.
They would be picked up on DDX, or they would be picked up on something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that happened a lot too.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it that way, but that's a very good point.
Yeah.
But no,
well,
Jason,
the first time Josh Forge was talked about being put on Elite was because we thought Jason may leave, and we're like, okay, well, this guy beat him at this tournament. You know,
who was it again?
Josh Horge.
Yeah, and that worked out.
That was actually though 3 or 4 years before he actually got picked up. Was when the talking was actually happening.
And
so,
Josh Horowitz he was a great. Look at how that worked out. He's a great pickup, right?
Right.
Was very good.
He
was a pro rank guy.
Listen, yeah, we didn't. Well, even then, when we were originally talking, he was just a Joe Corley guy. He wasn't even.
Yeah.
He wasn't even on it. There wasn't even pro rank then. So.
Oh, really?
Crazy.
So who was that pro rank team? It was him, Kodak, and who else? What, like Dustin Chovianic?
Probably Dustin. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was such an interesting pickup team too.
Yeah.
Because and then Kodak's spot would rotate every now and then because it was like Josh and Dustin were pretty much the main guys.
Yeah.
And then it would rotate. But yeah, those guys were pretty good. I liked Josh. Josh is a solid guy.
Oh yeah. All right. So one of the things that we were going to talk about, just favorite stuff, and Conroy doesn't look like he's going to come on. So it's all good. But
on his own.
Exactly. So we talk about what we're working on in classes. What are some teams that like you loved watching, but maybe you aren't like the ones that like everyone else loved to watch? You know what I mean?
I got some.
All right.
So, because they weren't always like a really good team, but they'd have like a couple of guys that were like, let's see how this thing goes. All right. I'll tell you, number one was do you remember Team Silver Bullet?
Yes.
They were a Coors Light sponsored team. This was a real thing.
Yes.
Everybody knows about the Budweiser team because the Budweiser team was incredibly dominant. There was a Coors Light team, right? And they were pretty good, right? That would be the right way to say it, wouldn't it, Jeff?
Yeah.
They were pretty good.
What? Joe Abood was on there.
Joe Abood and Nathan Thorne.
Yep.
And sometimes you'd be Donald. Now, if you had Donald Brady on there, then they would be great. But it didn't. Right. Donald wasn't there all the time. All right. I thought
they had someone else from somewhere completely different too, though. I thought they picked up.
Was it Jesse Gallimore?
Yes. Yeah. I thought there was one more person too.
Or maybe it was Joe Fife.
It might have been. I don't know. Where's Joe when we need him?
That's a good point. But no, because Joe Abood and Nathan Thorne, I didn't ever think that they were like I never ever looked at Nathan was definitely the better one, right? Never looked at Nathan and went like, you got to worry about that guy, right? But in reality, Nathan's kicking ability was phenomenal, right? It just always bothered me because I mean, selfishly and arrogantly, I just felt like I was better than him. But they were a really intriguing team to watch. So that one was fun. I liked them. But really,
that is.
I would say like GOP.
Oh well, yeah. See, like
They were
yeah,
they were cool. They were cool, right?
yeah. Well, which team do you remember though? Like who was on the team when you?
Jason Holmes.
Jason Holmes. Who else?
I can't remember. Jason Holmes
Was
was the
Derek
coolest
was
guy.
Derek on there? Derek Cox on there when you watched them? He was
Not,
he's a part of the original team. It was like Derek,
no,
J-Dog,
no.
and then oh man, I'm missing some other. I mean, there was a lot of. They had a good team. I think Mark was on there. Mark Childers was on there. Then I can't believe I'm forgetting people right now. But yeah, there's. I mean, they had a lot of different. You know, I think Brandon was on there at one point. Brandon Birch was on there at one point. Of course, Gallio, when he moved up to adults, you know, but he was a junior for that for a while. Willie was on there, you know. So yeah, I mean, they had a great team.
So in this one, and this other one's gonna sound strange, but there was the All Stars.
Brian Young was on that.
But there would be different All Stars lineups. Like this All Stars lineup, I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. It was like Raymond, Michael Jefferson, and Willie. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is just a different
Yeah.
type of lineup, right?
Right.
And I'm like, I never saw that lineup again, you know? So,
Yeah.
and I don't even think that was like the main lineup to win like a tournament. That was like the first round, right?
Yeah.
And then like the next round, I think like Robbie went out there because freaking Robbie Lavoie, right?
Right.
So
Right.
that was
cool. I liked when like All Stars had like an all lightweight lineup, you know, like Joe Five, Chris Walker, and Jack Felton. Like that was cool, right? Stuff like that. Or you know, you had, you know, if it was going to be, you know, Robbie, Chris, and Jack, you know, things like that was just, and then they were still the best team, you know, and the favorite to win, you know. So
now see on the flip side of that, teams of around that same era that bothered me would be like JPM teams would be like Travis, Elias, and Damon, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
that would be like a lineup. And you're like, well, this sucks, right?
Yeah.
Because at that time, they were also awarding points if you got pushed out of the ring. You got pushed out of the ring for any. It could be a push out. You could take a side kick to the arm and get completely blasted. Boom, 1 point the other way. If you slipped and you went down, 1 point. So it was basically like super fight rules, but in teams. And you're like, well, this sucks. So definitely a lineup like that, they have a huge advantage, right?
Correct.
Funny about it is then occasionally, like Mike P would come in, and then they would put him in the lineup, right?
Yeah.
But actually, the person who was the most successful, right? The two people that were the most successful at the time weren't even in the team fighting lineups, which was Alex Lane and Greg Betlock.
Right.
They were the ones making finals, and they never even fought them.
That's crazy.
Funny, right?
Yeah, that is funny. A weird one for us, like a CJB one that I think people forget about is like,
yeah, I'd love to hear this.
Ninja with Damon and Jason, right? Like that's just a weird one. Like, wait, what? You know, when we got Ninja on the team, you know, that was a weird one.
That was crazy. And that's one of those things where it's like, there's no world in where you don't want Trevor Nash on your team.
Right.
But the reason Ninja was on the team was because
he was no longer. Yeah.
They had to say,
hey,
it's so crazy to say, but they had to say, Trevor, you're kicked off the team. Like, come on. And not just Trevor, Nash, and Claire Kokoza, you're kicked off the team. Like, what world are we living in?
I know.
What? Right? So, and then Ninja, Lamont Fitzpatrick, we want you on the team. And that guy was just, for those who don't know who this is, like, yes, his nickname is freaking Ninja, right?
Yeah.
So imagine the athleticism of like, Oh gosh, why am I blanking?
Super
athletic.
Chance
Yes,
Turner?
that's exactly who I was thinking. Like
That's
the
so funny.
athleticism of Chance Turner.
Yeah.
And the power of Chance Turner, but less mistakes.
Yeah.
Less mistakes, right?
In some
this
ways,
is a great one. DDB.
Yeah,
Now let's see. Team Full Circle had so many lineups. This one was different. McGriff, Grenier, and Nico. So
that's
what's different about that is you look at that and go, Grenier's probably anchoring, right? Which is he's such a good anchor because it's hard. You can't, like, if you're down and you like, I need to go score, like it's really hard to do, right? If he's coming to you, all right, now you have more scoring abilities. But if he doesn't have to come to you and you have to go to him, oh man, he makes it really hard, right?
Oh yeah.
But he's clearly in that lineup. He's clearly the anchor.
Man, so the one I talked about plenty of times too was Thomas Wright, Rayfon Mills, and Chris McBride. That was just like a random pairing that we had because they were the only three of our team that were there, got there in time for team fighting at US Open. And they go and make it all the way to the finals and beat one JPM team that has Jody, Didi, and Mike Pombero. And then we lose to the team of Reggie, Preston, and Brian Ruth. So, and it was just crazy, but that's a cool team to me. And then
they beat maybe the harder JPM team and lost to the other.
Right. Crazy, right? So a team that was around during that time that I always just liked was Bull on the Beach. I liked their uniforms. I liked who they were. Bull on the Beach. So that had like Kurt Purnell, Mike Toll. I even think Tiller was on that team, Jeff Tiller. Maybe Vince or Harry Carter might have been on that team or maybe Vince Diacampo. It was a really different team that had people from all over. Bobby Harris was on that team. That's who it was. And that was just a cool team that had a good sponsor, that went to a lot of tournaments from 98, 99. And that was just a fun team. And they always did well. The other one for me was we talked about with because Brian Plimple talked about it, was honestly the team that Brian was on, like his regional team that was like his Spartanburg martial arts team of him and again I don't even remember all the names, but those guys like beat some people, man, and like made it to like semifinals and stuff, Oh, and then the team of I don't know if it was a next level team. It was before there was next level, but it was like a New York team, or maybe it was a WKF team. But it was Jesse Ray, and Frank Jones, and I'm trying to remember who their third was. And this was at the 2000 Diamonds. And this is where like
I know it.
Frank like back leg axe kicked Trevor like in the head. Do you remember that? Yeah, and I'm trying to remember who the third was on that. Someone's got to help me on that one. But and I don't remember exactly who was all in that. I mean, I want to say, I don't think Akin fought that year, so it wasn't him. But, I mean, it could have been Kodak that fought with him, actually. But I don't remember.
Gypsy made some really good ones.
Yeah, Gypsy.
Listen, people forget Gypsy beat Impex when Impex was like not beatable. Right? And gosh, who was it? It was Chad Cannon, Chance Turner, and come on, Bears.
Chad Cannon. Peter, was it Peter Charturi?
No.
Oh, the Bears. What do you mean Bears?
Bears karate.
Vito.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. And then, thank you for that, by the way. I would have been doing that for a while. And they beat.
That was a good team, man.
That was a really good team. See, that's the thing that's it's a good team like that you're like, man, I wish I would have seen more of. You know, I wish Hamid, Ross Cook, and I would have fought more than one time.
Yeah, right.
You know,
That
I
would
wish
have
that
been
would have. I wish that would have happened more than once. You know, and then the Hayabusa thing happened, and there was so many great lineups with Hayabusa. There was just it almost was too many to be able to let it really just kind of play out.
Chance too, Drew. Actually, Chance is very talented at forms too. That's what's crazy. People don't know that.
Like one thing, like here, Obeda just jumped in the chat. Like one lineup I don't think ever happened with Hayabusa that probably should have is Ross Cook, Obeda Ben Wally, and Roman Brundle.
Yeah, that would have been fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Obeda was on the team yet on that.
No, he was on the team with them. He came on later.
Later, but I don't remember like Roman really coming back after those first 2 or 3, tournaments.
Obeda and Roman were on the team together, but Ross at the end of that year left.
That's what it was.
Went on the All Stars.
Got it.
Which was good for him because he wanted to do more international things, and because he was living in Europe, right?
Right. Yeah, I wish I would have made it to the Diamonds that year. I was offended. So.
You were what? You were offended?
I was offended. So I said, all right, I'll stay home.
Well, what happened?
Well, I mean, I was, let's be honest, I was one of the only people making the stage every tournament, right? I was on stage all the time for that.
Okay.
And I was, doing pretty well, and I was that close to winning my grand. And it was like, oh no, we're not really going to help you with this term. We're not going to, and I was like, we're not going to take care of this. I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I'll stay home and take care of my school. So it was one of those things where it was just like, so when those things like that happen, where it's like, do I wish I would, because you always want a diamond, you know what I mean? But, and at that point, I feel like
because you were just on stage at both the battle and the open.
The battle, the open, and Capital Classics.
That's right. You went bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So I mean, there were things like that. But again, you know what? That's part of being. That's part of always being the forms guy on a fighting team. So it just is what it is. So
look at this Obeda saying that they never fought teams together. They should have.
See what I mean?
But it was a really good collection of talent that just it was almost too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
well, like, I mean, for me, like, it was just a cool team. When you had Jeremy, like young Jeremy, man, like Jeremy,
like no English Jeremy. Like
no English Jeremy. That's it's like talking to a whole different person now when I see him. It's like, wait a minute, this kid before didn't even speak English. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot. There was a lot of good people. So that was fun. Man, there's so many good ones to share about. Like the one that was crazy, a lot of people don't know, and it only happened in at Super Grands was, you talk about GOP, was Jack Felton fighting on that GOP team. Like he fought at the 2005 Super Grands, okay, with like that team of like J-Dog and Brian Young, and I think maybe I don't know if Galileo was an adult yet or no, I don't think he was. He might have been. I don't remember. But and so that was pretty cool. And then there were so many different teams on that were really good at that Super Grands, because the New York team won, and that was Ross, Hakeem, Kodak, and Jody. That's a cool NYC team, right?
NYC team wasn't like that.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet, and they did that for maybe like that lasted maybe 4 months, maybe 5 months. I don't know. And
that one always made me think, what if each area put out their best guys?
Right.
You know what I mean? And regardless of school or affiliation, like what if they collectively got together? Like, here, so what we
Yeah.
got.
Yeah.
Next year, we might have a better lineup. 2 years from now, we might have a better. This is what we got now, where we're going with it.
Yeah.
That would always be interesting.
Yeah, that was cool. But the team that was so good was the United team. And that was like Trevor, Shane Baker.
Shane Baker, yeah.
And I'm trying to remember if I think they actually had Dan Marshall fighting from that
was so smooth, man.
Yeah. And I think they actually had Dan Marshall fighting with that, which Dan Marshall's leg was crazy. So that was a very difficult matchup for everybody. And so that was pretty cool to see that fighting. And I judged all of that. And that was crazy.
Shane Baker was, I got to tell you, is this one, because I was ringside when this is happening, being like, we're just letting this happen, right?
Yeah.
We're at New England Open. I'll tell you what year it was. This is 07, right? And JPM is fighting straight up. Okay. So Trevor, I think, fights in the first round. Okay. So he fights, does whatever he's doing. Okay. Now Shane is on straight up and is fighting. I have no idea. Let's say it's Elias. Right? I have no idea if it's Elias Lemon or not. Trevor goes. He doesn't go stand behind Shane. He just stands on like a neutral side of the ring and is just yelling commands at Shane. And I'm like, we're just letting this happen. Everyone's okay with this. What in the wild world of sports is going on? Right? It's not just that, like, hey, you're fighting against like one of my teammates. No, this is a team match that I am actively a participant in. It was just so odd. I couldn't believe that.
That's Trevor for you, buddy.
He does whatever the heck he wants.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because many times
what are you gonna do?
Trevor and I were on the same team, and I'm fighting Shane, and he's coaching against me. You know, like pretty much every continuous fight for 2 years straight. That was just the way it was. So,
but that also tells you that, like, if you're his guy, you're just his guy. You know?
Yeah, of course.
And it also lets you know that, like, all right, if that happens, you just go, all right, that's cool. I'm not your guy. But it's also one of those things where if he ever just like all of a sudden just decided to get behind you and coach you, maybe you're like, oh,
yeah.
Guy.
Well, and that
was
now. Well, and that was the thing that happened a lot was when to get to there, Trevor was sitting behind me coaching me. But then I knew that if we got to the finals,
you knew it was going to switch.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and that's okay because that's just the way we were. But that's his student. Like that's who's around. He trains every day. So, yeah, I get all that. But we had some awesome continuous fights. Like we ended almost all 4 fights we had went into extra like overtime. And so
I wish more people took your approach on that. Just looking at that going, yeah, I know that. And I get that that's going to happen. Like, why would we just assume Trevor would just turn off? Like, his years of like influence and emotion and devotion into this one person's development, right? Like train with you multiple times a week. And now I'm just going to like, I see you here and you don't exist. Like, that's not real life.
No.
There were some other people on, okay, like, I just say things. So like, Ashley Ferruzzi and we trained together multiple times a week. She would fight Mel Ortiz. All right. Mm-hmm. Sometimes Mel would win. Sometimes Ashley would win. And I'm trying to I'm on the Hayabusa thing, but like Ashley's right here. So I'm trying to cheer for Ashley, but basically doing like the Trevor thing, but without actually yelling it out loud.
Yeah, exactly.
I tried to just stand in the middle and then motion to her,
Yeah.
And that would basically be it. But Mel got really mad at that because I wasn't standing behind her. I wasn't doing the team thing. But I'm I get it. I get why you'd be upset at that. But at the same time, it's like, let's just be adults about this thing. You know what I mean?
I get that too. Yeah. No, I agree. It's like, I mean, it's tough. And honestly, like the ones that you see that with the most, honestly, it happens in fighting, but you see a lot in forums. And I mean, I deal with that a lot.
Get upset at that
because
in forums.
because
I
you know,
don't understand.
People come to me and I coach them and I work with them. But if you're on another team, they're going against them, you know. So there's a lot of different things like that that make it kind of difficult. But
Beta, you're probably right.
yeah. Probably should have just done it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I was trying not, because I knew that someone would probably get upset about it. So I wasn't trying to like hurt people's feelings or make someone upset, you know?
Right.
I was yeah. But he's right. Just commit to it one way or the other.
True. All right. Let's get in a couple more. All right. Oh, Beta, while you're there, ask us right now, give us a top 5 or top 6 topics. So say, kind of like what we've done before, we say, all right, these are our top 5 of this category. And it could be a fighter. It could be a move.
GDB also.
Could be a team, you know, could be anything, right? It could be a moment, you know, give us, and we're going to do, because it's our 6th anniversary, we're going to do top 6. We're going to take 6 instead of top 5.
And we'll do it live. We'll do it right here.
Right now.
No prep, no research, just right here.
Obeyda's in here. Drew's in here. Both of them I know would have good topics for this one. Some that we're going to go right off.
So many we wanted to do.
All right, whoever has it first, let's go.
Yeah, we've done so many. I think there's plenty of techniques that we've wanted to do.
Top 5 comebacks. Mike P, look at that.
Whoa! Right. Well,
comebacks as far as someone like in their career coming back, or someone losing in that match and coming back.
That's what I interpreted that as.
No, I know. I mean, you just never know sometimes, because and that's a good one.
See, sometimes some of these that I would say, it's like,
all right, let's go with what we're thinking.
The person who loses, it's like, this sucks. You know, it's like one of them that comes to mind. Are we going with it, Jeff?
Yeah. We're going with that
one of them that comes to mind for me, like right away, is James Poore and Jack Felton.
Yeah.
But then another one that comes to mind is Jack Felton and Elijah Everill.
Yeah.
And what sucks about that is Jack Felton was on the losing end of both of those.
Well, and then honestly, even another Diamonds one, it was Jack Felton and Raymond, because
Jack Felton and Raymond. That is another great, because Jack was winning that fight in regulation. He was winning it, and he should have won it in regulation. Right at the buzzer. Didn't. Raymond got it, and then should have won it in overtime. Didn't. Ray gets it at the extended call.
Right. So those are 3. I mean, I would need to go with Jack. I would put 2 of those in my top 6, definitely. Another one,
Jack Felton ones, 100%.
Here's one that, I mean, I have to. It was recent, but El Java coming back 23-1.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All reverse punches at Rhode Island. That's one. That's going in there. I don't know why. I just thought of
what?
No, I'm just trying to remember. I had another one in my brain too that I remember. Oh, Kevin Walker last year at Cowboy Up, where he was down like 6 or 7 with like 15 seconds left or something like that. Yeah, bro, that was definitely one of my P. The comeback against Brian Roof.
See, and that's what I started thinking of right away in '96.
Yeah, that was insane. Definitely
that was crazy. I think that was like 7. That was like 6 or 7 straight points.
Yeah. We talked about that on our show. And again, Mike P, thank you for being on our show so many times, man. It's always awesome. And thanks for watching. It's so much fun and chiming in. So that's
That
one.
like 4.
Yeah, that. Oh, Java. Yep. John, please says the same thing. What was that other one? Yeah, I think the Kevin Walker one, dude, because he was down like that's like seconds. It was crazy. And
Okay.
then you got the 2 Jack ones, man. That's 5 right there. I'm sure there's other ones.
There's another one. It's another one. It's sucky to say, but I'm gonna say it. It sucks. All right. This is another Hayabusa thing. So we're there, and it was our first time as this is first time as like a team, right? This is the no English Jeremy days, right? Jeremy goes out and he's I think he like ties. We're fighting like WKF, right?
Yeah.
And he ties or he goes down 1 or 2, something like that. But he's clearly a good fighter, right? And then Sam looks at me and he goes like, I don't know, what do you think, Alex? Because I don't know, like I'm like, you should put me in. I'll fight and win. But I'm looking at because they had to send oh gosh, what was this? I'm blanking.
Raymond? Was it Raymond?
No. This is WKF. This is come on, Mexico.
Zayn?
No, Ross Levine's guy.
Oh, Pablo,
right?
Yeah.
So Pablo is up there and is just so wide-eyed, like looking at Roman, like, please don't. And I'm like, oh, this is 10 points easy, right? So he goes out there and we are now up by 11, right? At the end of that fight. And so he's like, Ross is faster than you. We're sending Ross out. And then they got and he's fighting Jimmy, right? And Jimmy Haymore, all right?
Oh, Jim Haymore, okay.
So he's fighting Jim Haymore. And Sam just keeps telling Ross, he's like, just run. And Ross is like, Ross is too big to run, right?
Yeah.
So but he's so fast, right? But he's not really, he's trying to like run around. But he's just too big to run around, right? Ross loses 12-0.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one sucked.
So Jim has had some moments like that. You know who else I always feel like has some crazy comebacks, especially teams, is Jamad. Jamad's done that. I feel like there was a Battle of Atlanta where he did that. And I think it might have been against like Leon.
Dude, but I'm telling you, losing or winning, whichever way you want to put it, 12-0.
Yeah.
That'll do it for you.
Yeah.
So that's probably the best comeback / best, laying an egg.
All right, give us another one. The interviews, Drew, we've talked about before. We have a secret list we're going to be revealing soon. So get ready for that.
We're going to release the list?
I don't know. I'm just talking trash, man.
Oh.
No, but we have a schedule of like people that are going to be coming on.
We do have that. Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. And some other people, like honestly, after watching like Ninja Turtles and some of these movies, I'm realizing, crap, there's a lot of people that we need to have on the show. He got one.
No.
Oh, he's talking about one of his comebacks. All right. One more top 6 topics. What do we think?
Let's get one. What do you guys got? Anything? We'll do it right here on the fly. Who
are some
people you want to bring back on?
Well,
Mike P for sure. Right. Yeah. Mike, you're here.
Brian,
Anthony Price. I don't care. That's like popcorn time anytime he comes on, right?
Tony Guante, being down like 9 or 10 points. Oh, TDS, you mean? Oh, trade wins. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That must have been 97. All right, we're going with that one there as well. Okay,
top 6.
So Drew, a couple other that we want to bring back on. for me, like the Brian Pimple interview was really fun.
Oh,
definitely
that was
a lot
great.
to talk about with him. I think, someone like Regina definitely has a lot to talk about,
Along those lines.
Chelsea. Chelsea would be great to have back on. There's even some of the ones that were, like Ernest Miller, there's so much to talk about with him, so Arlene's been on several times, and that's always fantastic. So yeah. And then by talking about those, it brings up some people that we want, like a Linda Dinley or, like I was looking up things today that they're doing in 2 weeks, which I wish I could go. They're doing a like experience best of the best, right? And they're doing where you can go, you can meet all the cast of best of the best. You can take seminars from the Reed brothers. You can do kicking classes with them, kicking seminars. You can do stunt classes with them. They're going to sign all kinds of different things. You're going to get special pictures. Yeah, we do need Johnny on. You can get special pictures with them. They're going to do like scenes and stuff. They're going to do a Q&A about the whole movie. Like that's going on in a couple weeks in California. So guys, if you are in that area, go and check that. Cause that's just like, to me, that's like a martial arts, like dream, like that would be fun.
Would be so cool.
Yeah. So cool. Right. All right.
All right. Let's talk about nunchucks.
We've done this before. I'm trying to remember. This is really tough. So
did we? Let me look at my notes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We talked about this before, but it wasn't like the topic of our main show, I don't think. But we talked about, and we also had when we had Matt Emming on, we talked about it as well, back and forth.
That's probably what we did.
Yeah. So,
well, Matt Emming,
I don't know if we can go order, so we'll definitely put him in there. So Matt Emming, all right. There's Matt. One. Yeah.
Everybody else.
For me, John Sue. So Matt Emming.
John Sue is so great, and I feel like so many people don't remember.
Right.
Because they remember the whip chain most recently.
Right. Manny was a fun
Manny
one.
Reyes, yeah, I'd be good with that. Okay, so John Sue.
Yeah, you're right, Sean. Steve Woodward was a great one. He was a pioneer, and I don't even know if Alex would know who he is, but Steve Woodward was a pioneer. John, Matt, list over. So I think there's some different people that are in this range now that you can kind of think, right? For me, I look at a lot of the Red Dragon guys from back in the day that we always looked up to. So like there's a guy named Saeed Del Cash, and who really created like the side whip. So like someone like if you watch Chris Kostamoto, right, from Red Dragon, he was influenced by those guys. And same thing, John Sue was influenced by those guys, taught by, Saeed and all those guys. So I put Saeed in there. So those are three for me, at least. I think Sammy Smith has definitely improved like her style, and not just the releases, which I like that, but it's the strikes and the spins and everything. Aaron Neese from Team Valera, his nunchucks were good. He's another Red Dragon guy. That's what I mean. Like these guys, their nunchucks. I mean, even Chris Casamassa, even though he was known more for the commas, his nunchucks were good. Okay. So Red Dragon was known for the nunchucks, man. Stunt double, a couple movies he won. Junior back in 1994 or 6.
Whoa.
With nunchucks. Yeah, I'm trying to remember because oh man. Man, why am I having a hard time with this? And he did nunchucks. This is a tough one. Oof, I'm gonna get that one eventually. Go with some other ones that you're thinking. Honestly, we gotta put Wayne. We gotta put Wayne Wynn in there. I think
that gets us to 4.
Yeah, he was the white ninja, you know what I mean? So maybe that's who you're thinking of, but you're thinking a kid, I don't know. But Wayne Wynn from Sidekicks, and he influenced so many different people. A lot of his students went on to win world titles as well. So
Here's a loophole for you.
What?
Hosam Pak. It's kind of nunchucks.
What was that? 3-sectional nun stuff, and it wasn't Ho Sung, it was Ho Young. Yeah, and Gemma.
Beta, you're right. Gemma.
Yeah, definitely.
But didn't Butch use the sword?
I don't ever remember Butch doing nunchucks, but
I don't. I remember him doing butterfly twists with a sword, being like, how is that not touching the ground?
He did sword. Man, yeah, they're I don't know
I would think Gemma and then Mr. Doss.
Who?
Come on.
Mr. Who?
The mega team.
Oh, Mr. Moss.
Moss, not Doss. Moss.
Me, I'm not there yet. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? There probably are some other people that we're forgetting right now that have really done. Yeah. Wayne definitely. He's a legend with the Chucks.
So, and that's the thing is like it's such a unique weapon that you can be really good at it, but when people look at that and they go, is your nunchuck performance better than your bow or your kama? Do we really remember it that far later? And it's harder. And that's why, like, I mean, I know Abeda was joking, but it was like one of those like joking, but kind of not.
Yeah.
It's Matt, it's John, and the rest. But I would say like Sammy Smith. All right.
Yeah.
Hers is pretty damn
good.
good.
A lot of people really put Danny Ekin in there, you know.
Danny Ekin's very you know what? No, I'll put Danny up there. Yeah. Danny Ekin. I forgot about that.
Yeah. It's just for me, I know, again, I go further back. So like a lot of these nunchuck guys from back in the day that were doing stuff were just it was just because they're the ones that created so much of it, you know. And I still think there's so many things that were done back then that people don't do now, right? Like,
well, sure.
Like the style, no, but I mean, there's a lot of missing things in nunchuck these days. Like everyone, and again, good and bad with Matt. Like everyone adopts Matt Emming's style of nunchuck, which makes sense. But a lot of the triangles and stuff you don't see as much anymore. The twisters that, you know, Wayne and stuff did, you know, even wrist rolls are stuff we don't really see that much, you know, right now. So there's so many things, old school stuff, that if you brought it in, it's still very difficult, you know, and it doesn't mess, you know. So I think there's just different styles of it, you know. And I still think there's some other names that we're not even thinking about right now too. So maybe next week we'll think of some. But yeah, John is one of my best, one of my favorites as well, Abena. So yes.
Well, I like the way that John Sue formatted his nunchuck form.
Yeah.
Right. He did it. Well, he kind of did it like a Taekwondo form. He really did. Right. Maybe that's why I like it so much.
Yeah.
So because he did it, and then that was I think that was his best, no pun intended, his best sidekicks. Right.
Oh yeah.
I said pun it because he was on Team Sidekicks, right?
But
he would do that, and when he was never the best. Oh gosh, man, I'm gonna say I don't think he was ever really the best at any specific thing, right?
Right.
But he did a very good job of saying like, this is my skill set. This is what I have to offer. Yeah. How do I highlight this in the best possible way that I can? Yeah. So that I'm not trying to compete with that, because I can't do that. I could do things, but like, this is really what I got. How do I make this look the best? Right. And he really did a great job of that. Right. Because he could do some things, like he would do like jump, double front kick, back tuck. Right. And then like the way he would land, he landed.
Always beautiful.
Butterfly kick was great. Really well arched back. I was actually teaching butterfly kicks today. He was talking about that. So,
and even actually his aerial, like his aerial was always clean.
A double. Remember when he would do the double, the bang, bang, right? Because he couldn't do all the tricks, right? He would do that from corner to corner when everyone else was doing round off flash kicks.
540. So yeah.
And he probably couldn't do it. Be honest, he probably couldn't do a round off flash kick really high, right? but the way he would do like a double aerial, like super fast, like that was incredibly skilled, right?
Right.
And it was a big highlight moment. But no, it's not as difficult as a round out flash kick.
Right. Yeah. So always cool, man. All right. So thank you guys so much. 6 years. It's been kind of crazy.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh no. There's a lot of things. I've had those talks with Obedo about this.
Yeah.
So
Obedo was supposed to teach me how to do chucks anyway.
This weekend, I'll be in North Carolina. I know some people will be up in New York for a Richie Everidge tournament. There's some other events going on. And then what do we got Monday? Do we have a guest on Monday, or have we decided what we're doing Monday? Oh, we got to announce people. Hey, we need one more person for our fantasy football.
Obeda's in. He's playing fantasy football with us.
Oh, he is? Obeda is? All right, cool.
I haven't. He just is.
Obeda,
You're playing fantasy football. You're in the Inside Scoop League.
Thanks, Mom. Oh, I got to give a shit. Mom is in the hospital watching this right now. Okay.
What?
Yeah. She had neck surgery this morning. She had to be at the hospital at 4:30 in the morning. Yeah. Crazy. You're right. Don was definitely an amazing nunchucker. Super fast. One of the fastest I've ever seen. You're right, Sean. But yeah, so Mom, glad she's doing well, and she's spending the night there tonight, and then we'll be back hopefully tomorrow. So, all right,
awesome,
Alex,
guys.
Thank you.
If you guys do want to jump in, we do need one more guy for our fantasy league. First come, first serve. Draft is coming up soon. This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. Have a blessed night, guys.